What is going on, y'all? It is Jake here. Welcome inside to the StreamYard Studios. I am your host, Jake, for this very special interview. Today, we have the one, the only Hart Beltran. And yet, before we get a chance to have her get a chance to join me, let's go ahead and yet send some shout outs. First of all, let's go ahead and send a huge shout out to my great friends at RMGFX1.com. They have some incredible merchandise for you guys to check out. They have hats, hoodies, gear, and of course, they have some Fighting Now gear. And of course, you guys can get a chance to check that out on rmgfx1.com. And whenever you guys do get some stuff, use promo code FIGHT-NOW to save 10% off your entire purchase. Once again, that is rmgfx1.com. Use promo code FIGHT-NOW to save 10% off your entire purchase. And of course, we got to send some shout outs. We got to send some shout outs to some incredible podcasters, interviewers, everything that's going down with the MMA or the combat business. So yeah, let's go ahead and kick things off with my great friends at Mom's Basement MMA. Mom's Basement MMA has been doing so many incredible things, to say the least. I got a chance to join her live on Instagram, and of course, they made some fight predictions. They made a lot of great choices. So head on over to Instagram right now and search up Moms_Basement MMA to get a chance to follow them. They have some merchandise out. I got a shirt coming up my way, and I cannot wait to get a chance to rep them. So I hope you guys get a chance to as well. Of course, next up, Liz with a Z podcast, Lisa Solar, which, by the way, coincidence, a week ago, joined me here in StreamYard Studios, had an incredible interview, and of course, she's getting back out there doing all of her podcasting stuff, all of her interviews. She did a bunch of interviews after XFN 41. So head on over to Liz with a Z podcast on YouTube, and of course, check her out on Instagram as well. Also, we have Air Media Productions in the booth. They have so much incredible interviews from so many incredible different fighters, whether if it's boxing, whether if it's MMA, Muay Thai, whatever it may be. Head on over to Air Media Productions and get a chance to join the Air Media Productions family. And of course, last but certainly not least, and this is the first time we get a chance to show our love and support to Fight Bananas. Pretty much, Fight Bananas is an incredible Instagram page. I think they have Facebook, but David Auken is the person, I think, is one of the individuals behind it. You also get a chance to see so many incredible fighters who has been working on this page. And so I encourage you guys to head on over to Fight Bananas on Instagram and any other social media platform, to say the least. Well, hey, now we get a chance to get that out of the way. Coming up next is our interview with the one and only Hart Beltran. Now, this isn't my first time getting a chance to interview her. As a matter of fact, this is my first time getting a chance to interview her, myself, by myself, because the last time that I had her in the StreamYard Studios was for the Jay and Trey podcast. And by the way, I do want to send a shout out to the Jay and Trey podcast, because last night I got a chance to be the main guy, kind of like being the host, to say the least. And I do want to send some shout outs to Justin and Trey for allowing me to have the opportunity. It was incredible. Might have said the same things over and over, but yet I'll still start getting better here later on. But it doesn't matter, though, because I do appreciate both Justin and Trey for allowing me to get a chance to be the main guy, even though it's like I've been wanting to be the main guy for quite some time in that podcast. Whenever I did like racing leagues, stuff like that. So shout out to Justin and Trey, and head on over to TNC Sports Talk on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and of course TikTok as well. Hart, man, I'm telling you, I am very excited because she is an amazing fighter, amazing woman, and of course, amazing wife and mother. I can really tell you is that what we're about to get a chance to do is to talk to a fighter who might still have some bruises here and there, because I don't know if I'm the first interview after her fight against Christine Fierro, but if I am, it's a huge honor because she fought for the first ever bare knuckle women's flyweight championship. So much was on the line a couple weeks ago back in Knuckle Mania 2. And I know that she has a lot that she'll end up talking about. We'll get a chance to talk about her journey with bare knuckle, and of course how she started in the combat business, and of course as well as talking about her relationship with Joey Beltran, so much more that we got to be able to talk about. And of course, she has some fan questions as well. So we'll get a chance to cover y'all's fan questions and get a chance to talk about many other things. But yet, there's so much more that we got to talk about. Don't forget, later on today, we have Ashley Finley at 1:30 Eastern Time is going to be joining me. Ashley Finley, who pretty much won a championship, but the way that she won it was something that she didn't want to win. I'm pretty sure that if you're a fighter, you didn't want to win this in this way either. Not going to break any details on that until the interview. You guys have to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're less than 2 subscribers away from hitting 100. So yeah, if you guys are watching this live right now and you're not subscribing, I encourage you guys to subscribe to the Fighting Now YouTube channel. And of course, we also have Instagram at the Fighting Now. We're trying to reach up to 4K. Probably the biggest goal that we can possibly reach yet. And of course, we also have Twitter. I'm still working on the Twitter page, but you guys can follow me at the Fighting Now 2. That is at the Fighting Now 2 on Twitter. Hey, with that being said, let's go ahead and have our first ad of the interview. Now, if you guys want to get a chance to if you are a wrestling fan, I encourage you guys to head on over to Armchair Booking and get a chance to check out all the latest shows that they've had. I got a chance to be a part of the Armchair Booking show for the J&J podcast. It was really awesome. I had so much fun, and hopefully get a chance to be back on there maybe later on. But head on over to Facebook, Armchair Booking, Instagram, and then Twitter, and of course, they're still working on the TikTok stuff. I think Trey is still working on that with them. So head on over to Armchair Booking and get a chance to show some love if you guys are a wrestling fan. We have many more interviews to come up. We have Christine Vicens that'll be joining me this coming Wednesday at 11 o'clock on the Jay and Trey podcast. And then at 5 o'clock, we have Serena De Jesus. Try not to butcher it. But she'll be joining me at 5 o'clock. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be awesome, and I cannot wait to get a chance to have her to join me. And, of course, Friday, we have Kate Clemens that's going to be joining. So many more we get a chance to talk about. And, of course, let's go ahead and get ready for next week. Next week is going to be also a very huge amount of interviews as well, because next Monday, we have a woman who pretty much fought for Epic Fighting, who's currently 3-0. We have Lauren Garcia that's going to be joining me. And, of course, next Tuesday, Ashley Brim. And, of course, later on, we also have Ashley Blanco, who won at the Warriors Cup event last week. So, yeah, so much more to talk about. Maybe trying to plan more interviews. We got potentially about 3 down and more to come. So, I am very excited. I am very happy to get a chance to do many of these interviews, and yeah, I hope you guys stick around and get a chance to enjoy these interviews. These interviews have been so impactful, with all these stories, and by the way, this makes it now 4 weeks since we've started doing the interview style, and I remember my first time get a chance to do this was with Kira Martinez, then we got to Jade Wong, and then, it just keeps getting better from here. So appreciate every fighter who's got a chance to be interviewed for allowing me to get a chance to show my support and, the amount of love that you guys definitely do deserve. It is incredible. It is awesome. And I cannot wait to see how things are going to go. But yet, hey, stay tuned real quick. We have one more advertisement, and hopefully we'll get a chance to have Bret Hart to join me. So we'll be right back, guys. Of course, if you guys do want to check out the Jay and Trey podcast, head on over to TNC Sports Talk on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and of course Twitter as well. That is at TNC Sports Talk with Justin and Trey being part of the Jay and Trey podcast, as well as something I've been doing a lot as of late. So we got many more to talk about, but yet that's for the Jay and Trey podcast, to say the least. So yet, we are still waiting on Bret and Hart to get a chance to join me. And the one thing I love about the person that Bret Hart is that she has always been the one who has never backed down from anything, and yet it seems like most of her fights, like these press conferences, you see so much of animosity, you see so much of a lot of drama going on because this woman has been on a winning streak. She fought against Paige Van Zant to Jenny Savage, and of course Pearl Gonzalez. And of course, her way of being involved with this women's flyweight championship fight against Christina Fiera back in Knuckle 2 a couple weeks ago. I know how much this meant to her, and I know how much that she wanted to get a chance to win this championship, and I cannot wait to get a chance to get a chance to listen to her stories, especially whenever this fight came about, because I remember whenever when she was on the Jay and Trey podcast, she mentioned about this title fight. I just didn't know what was going to go down. I mean, it was a little bit too early, but eventually Bare Knuckle did announce about the championship fight. And, we all got to figure out, what's next? What's next for Bret and Hart? We don't know. We don't know for certain. But one thing I can tell you is that she is ready to get a chance to share all of her stories. She is ready to get a chance to talk about so much that has happened in her fighting career. And of course, if you guys want to get a chance to follow Britt, then I encourage you guys to head on over to at Team Britton Beltran. That is on Instagram. And of course, you guys can get a chance to follow her there. You can see the amount of the bruises, and just this past weekend, she posted that she finally got the stitches off. So I hope we get a chance to, talk to her about that. I mean, there's so much that has happened, and I will tell you this: bare knuckle is such a different style, such a completely different style. It's bare knuckle boxing, and in case you guys don't know what that is, it's pretty much boxing without the gloves. It's just a fist only. And of course, I do know that they're also currently doing like bare knuckle kickboxing. So a lot to look forward to that. And of course, there's so much more that is heading their way when it comes to bare knuckle. I know that they are getting ready for, I think they had Thriller that bought the promotion from what I've been hearing about over the last couple of days. Don't really know all the details, but what I can tell you is that this could be potentially a huge thing for bare knuckle. I don't know how the platform is going to be. I don't know, but what I do know is that the fighters are excited about this. What's going to be? What does that mean for the fighters? Nobody knows. Nobody knows unless you're a bare knuckle fighter. So we'll definitely have to keep that in mind. Talk about that maybe on a very special 1 hour show, maybe this coming Saturday. I don't know yet. But what I can tell you is that there's so much more that can be talked about, and hopefully eventually we will get a chance to have Bret Hart Beltran. Please bear with us. But I'm excited. I'm very ready to get a chance to have her to join me, and it's whenever you start to have a fighter like Bret Hart, you want to be able to welcome her in the biggest possible way that you possibly could. Now, whenever I first interviewed her, it was unfortunately due to we was timed. And one thing I am glad about when it comes to the interviews that you see, the interviews that you're watching, is that there's no time limit. There's no time limit. You can come on in, share your stories, take all the time you need, because you don't need to be rushing. Because I feel like if you have something that you want to share, let it out. Just let it out from the heart. And I feel like I am very honored, and I'm very happy that this platform such as StreamYard has really allowed me to get a chance to do this, because whenever I first started working on these interviews, I remember, like what's with Instagram Live is like, the person that you're trying to interview is like getting blocked by the comments. But with here, it's like it's clear as day. So I'm hoping that we get a chance to share as much as we possibly can with Britt. I know that she has a lot that she wants to talk about, and we will get down to that. But real quick, y'all, give me 1 second for another promo video. So just stay tuned. Once again, shout out to Armchair Booking, because there's so much that they're doing, and hey, gotta show some more love to Armchair Booking. We're still currently waiting on Britt and Hart to get a chance to join me, so yet just hang in there. We'll get a chance to have her to join, and I am very excited because this is just the start of what should be 5 incredible interviews. Once again, we have Ashley Finley that's going to be joining me, Christine Vicens for the J and Trade podcast, and then on here, Serena De Zeus that's going to be joining me, and of course, Kate Clemens for the J and Trade podcast. So much that we get a chance to talk about, so much that we get a chance to cover for you guys, and of course, the amount of interviews that we can bring you guys down for next week. So give me 1 second, y'all. My apologies on that one, but there's one thing I definitely do think I'm ready to get a chance to talk about, and with the J and Trey podcast interview, it was pretty much I had like all 3 of us, and and I think of Trey and Justin whenever they want to get involved with all this, and the questions that they have, everything, the knowledge that they're trying to work on when it comes to what I'm doing is very awesome, to say the least. And hopefully, maybe eventually we'll get a chance to have them to ask some questions. I don't know yet. But there's one thing I definitely do want to talk about is her relationship with Joey Beltran, which we'll get a chance to talk about that here in just a few short moments with Britt. So I'm hoping that we get a chance to talk about how they build one another up, especially when it comes to the fighting style, how much they encourage one another, especially if one of them have big fights, because Joey has to be the biggest motivation and the biggest help for Britt. And I am just really excited to listen to all the journeys, to listen to all of the excitement that's about to go down, and to see how you can be able to build one another up, especially if one of them has fight camp, or if since they both train with each other, is how do they work with one another on the mental side. So we're still waiting on Britt, so yet bear with us, ladies and gentlemen, and yet hopefully we'll get a chance to have her coming soon. But yet, meantime, just give us maybe about a couple minutes, y'all. Give us maybe 30 seconds. And yet, see, this is why I definitely do need a timer, because 30 seconds can be very quick and can be very short. And I feel like, I'm trying to work on all the stuff. I mean, we have the videos. We have the intro video. Shout out to Justin for that. And of course, there's so much more that we could be able to do in that sort of aspect. So I'm hoping that we get a chance to maybe work on something, maybe get a chance to build so much more in what we have with the Fighting Now. So if you guys want to get a chance to join the Fighting Now family, head on over to Instagram at the Fighting Now. And if you guys want to get a chance to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at the Fighting Now too. And of course, we get a chance to talk about more. We have some more fighting shout outs on the Instagram side. And I can really tell you this as far as like my experience wise when it comes to working with these fighters, it's like I make sure that they get the recognition that they deserve. I make sure that they get everything that is very like being recognized. I mean, you can have an amateur fighter, with only one win, or an amateur fighter with two wins, or it doesn't matter, like even a loss. I mean, the Fighting Now is for many incredible platforms to get a chance to recognize all of the incredible women's fighters out there in combat sports, whether if you're in MMA, Muay Thai, kickboxing, bare knuckle, whatever it may be. I encourage you guys to head on over to the Fighting Now, because the Fighting Now on Instagram is getting so huge. We're getting so many amazing opportunities. And of course, I definitely do want to get a chance to talk about big events that are happening at the end of March. The Siam Fighting League is getting ready to have their event coming up back up, and of course the Flex Fight Series, which Sandra Arndt is going to be fighting down there in that event. 2 women's bout for that card. Hopefully we'll have a chance to see more of that, and of course many more to come. So I am very excited. I am very ready for the amount of events that we have in store. There's so much that can be talked about. There's so much that we can really do and say the least. So, guys, give me 1 second. Hopefully we'll get a chance to have Britt join us. If not, I might have to end the video. And then when she's ready, we'll get a chance to have her on the StreamYard studio. So, with that being said, I hope you guys get a chance to follow along with the journey. I hope you guys get a chance to follow along with what's about to come. And I am very excited to get a chance to have Brett and Hart joining me here in the StreamYard studios. So give me 1 second, guys. Hopefully we'll get to hear from something. I hope we get a chance to give me 1 second, guys. Yep. So I will have to end this, and then, yeah. So I will